What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chatter After Daily, the show where we chat about everything in the world of movie news and pop culture. I'm your host, Mike. The crew's back. We had a special stream last week. Shout out to Jamie and Didge for hosting the gauntlet that's known as the Game Awards 2023. But that show was so long. It's still on the channel if you guys want to go check that out. It's also on their respective channels as well. We didn't get to talk about it in depth as it was happening because it was a live reaction and a lot was happening. It was too much, but we made it through. We're gonna take a little bit of time and talk about the Game Awards proper. First off, guys, how was your weekends? Anything interesting happen?
I saw my sister graduate from college. So that was Yeah, that was fun to see that.
I'm surprised you made it here with us this episode. Right, you were taking the day off. Honestly.
Drove 4 hours yesterday?
Nice.
It's a decent drive on a Sunday.
Yeah, especially when
it's not great.
Yeah,
I won't be doing it again anytime soon.
Makes sense.
That's fair. Hour max for me. It's done. I can't go past that.
That Chicago drive is my max I can do, and I still complain because you got to come back home.
Oh no, I take the train to Chicago. I'm never driving down there.
That's fair.
Oh man,
I tried.
Huh?
No arguments here.
I was gonna say I tried pho for the first time.
How did you like it?
Yes. What kind?
It was beef.
Oh yes. There you go.
See, the thing that I didn't know, so like the bowl came. Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I hate it.
But the bowl came and like you see the meat and the meat's like kind of pink on the top, and I was like, is this how it's supposed to be? Mm-hmm. And I was eating it with my friend. Like, yeah, you gotta like just put it in the soup for a second, it'll cook. I'm like,
it's hot. Oh yeah,
got it.
Real hot.
I liked it. I'm not a big fan of bean sprouts, so I didn't put too many of those in there, but it was good.
That's fair.
Lime. Ooh, I wish they gave me like 5 limes. That was delicious.
I love mine with sriracha when I do it.
Load with sriracha. My God.
Yeah, I like it to be a little hot. I like it to be hot.
Sriracha's good shit.
Sriracha's good, but man,
and
I don't know how much sriracha.
Worcestershire sauce, whatever you call it.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, Worcestershire. W sauce.
W sauce is crazy.
We just say, what's this here?
It's hard to
say.
Oh man.
No, I didn't do much this weekend. I made my first game. That's it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do anything, guys. I just made a game.
It was through a tutorial, man. It was, but it was great.
It's more than I did. I played a game, man. Make a game.
That's what I'm saying. Put it on GitHub.
That's what I'm looking to see if I can, because I tried to screen record it to show you guys, and the screen recorder had it looking very bad. It was stuttering. My computer cannot take that and running the engine at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. Joel, anything happened this weekend with you?
Nah, pretty quiet weekend. It was very quiet. Yeah. Finally, I got through all the temples in Zelda, and I'm
nice.
I just finished killing that giant locust, so I'm happy. I just want to move on now.
Man, that thing was disgusting.
How close did that put you towards the end of the game?
I don't know.
In Zelda, you can go to the end of the game whenever you really want to.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's fair.
I could have went to the boss for the moment
right away.
The game.
I like it collecting all the sages and then as much of the shrines as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Complete as much as I can without overdoing it, and then I'll go. I have to get the master shield and the sword, and then
I never find the shield.
I did the last one, and hopefully it's similar.
I remember when I found the champion's tunic by accident. That was so funny.
I love finding it. I love that you can get almost all the tunics in this game. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to like increase the defense because I be getting one shot a lot this game.
That's not really gonna stop, man, until you just get like 1,000,000 hearts. I'm sorry.
Bro, it doesn't matter. I feel like
the
the more
fairy.
hearts. Yeah, I haven't talked to any fairies yet.
Oh, you gotta do that.
You beat all of those without talking to the fairies? It's
Not
impressive.
easy, man. Not easy.
That's why you're struggling. All right. I get it. Playing on hard mode.
That was a bitch, man. Especially that last one. But
Mhm.
whatever. We're here now. I can just go look for a fairy.
Bet. So I'm glad you were talking The Legend of Zelda, though. That's a pretty good segue into the Game Awards. Great show. Long show.
Oh, why did you use this picture?
Because it's funny.
This is one
Because
of the
this is-
low lights of
That's
the show.
Jeff and Jeff.
This is what I have to say. This, yeah.
It's my guy. It's Gonzo.
That's why
Who
I say
doesn't
that.
like Gonzo? Come
But this
on,
is-
man.
It
This
was on
is one
screen
of
a
the
little
low
too
lights.
long.
Yeah, this is one of the low lights of the
I
show.
miss Gonzo, man. I'm upset now.
Gonzo's the best.
Oh dang! Yeah, you did.
The bit went on too long, but don't get me wrong. Like Gonzo being there was fun.
Yeah, it was great for like the first minute and a half, and then it went another like 12.
12 minutes.
But
And
they were
it
kicking
felt
off
like
the
it went forever.
people that
I liked
speak, they were
Monster's
kicking them off at 30
appearance.
seconds.
Mhm.
Get off stage.
Who?
Don't think
Who?
anybody.
I liked
Well,
Monster's
everybody-
appearance better
Oh,
from
last
last year because
Yeah.
like he can't even really like string sentences together. So Jeff will say something to it, and he'll be like, "Ah!" and then he'll move on.
Oh, Animal?
Oh yeah, animal, not monster, animal.
I was confused there for a second. I was like,
So the Game Awards happened, and there's a lot to talk about. What do we want to touch on first? Do we want to touch on the controversy, the fun reveals, the winners? There's
Spider-Man
Anyway,
was
we-
snubbed.
we'll
All right,
talk
guess
about-
we're talking to winners.
we'll get there. Let's go.
we'll talk about the winners. Baldur's Gate basically swept every award it was nominated for.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It lost three, and each of those three it lost to were Alan Wake.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah, they
crazy.
were killing this year, those two.
Yep.
I ain't
Spider-Man
You know.
was shut out, sadly.
Sadly,
But-
yeah.
You know, it happens.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild to see.
A lot of competition this year.
It is.
There
It
was.
it had the Horizon curse this year.
Yeah.
I hate that that's a term now. That it's crazy that happened to Horizon twice.
It's so
Yeah.
sad.
I don't know if I've ever heard is that an official thing? Because I've definitely heard Xbox tax. Xbox tax is now that's a new
You see-
vocabulary thing.
You see, Jamie, you're over
That's
there in
some- that's
Xbox
something you made
world
up.
and
That's something you
PlayStation
made up. I
world.
ain't
The,
never heard
the
that
Horizon
ever.
curse is
I'm not
new.
in
That's-
Xbox world.
I've
I'm
never heard that.
absorbing games.
That is,
media.
Xbox tax is a thing.
It
Yeah.
definitely is a thing. I'm not saying it's not.
I've
but like,
never heard of it.
Yeah.
What is it?
But I was
Two different
asking about the Horizon thing. I like this. People literally say, like,
Yeah, they're-
Horizon curse.
There are people who are saying because it's the most. It's probably the highest profile that it's happened to twice. Like if it was like
Twice.
games have been very highly regarded, and then the year that they came out, something that was just astronomical came out.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
I'm
But
a
it happened to
Spider-Man.
Horizon.
You
twice.
know,
right.
what's crazy?
To
is
be
the
fair, it
fact-
happened to Spider-Man twice too now.
Right. dude.
I forget what it was, but somebody was saying like by the time the next Horizon comes out, there's supposed to be one of these games will have a sequel, and that might be like the most popular
And
game of the
that's
year.
the thing. Horizon, like to your point, Horizon is a great game. Horizon Forbidden West was a great game. It's just the year that those came out, two game-changing, crazy games came out, and it was just so sad. But like Joel just said, it happened to Spider-Man. This is their second time essentially. Who knows what'll happen when Spider-Man 3 comes out? It might be time for the next one.
It technically
No.
happened to Spider-Man, the
No.
franchise, 3 times because Miles Morales had the same thing.
Also, fair.
Oh shit! What came out that year?
Last
Tears
of
of
Us
the
2.
Kingdom also like
It
it was it got one award I think, but still
It did.
You
It got
know.
best action adventure, I think.
I think maybe for a game that
I have all
everybody
the
was
winners
like
out.
saying is game of the year, that's a little bit surprising. I totally understand though after you know,
action adventure.
experiencing the whole year, but
Tears of the Kingdom
Very
got
wild.
adventure this year, so it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think to their point, they can't give it the curse because I think Breath of the Wild cleaned up when it came.
Oh yeah, it
it
did.
did.
So
It did.
it's laughing. They may have messed up this year.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be real, guys. Breath of the Wild's the better game. After sitting with this for a few months, Breath of the Wild's the better game.
You
Of what?
are on
Of the two.
drugs.
Oh,
Between Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
Interesting.
I have to sit with it longer.
Jamie
but
called you on drugs. That is
Yeah.
the hardest agreement.
Yeah, I get it. I know.
I won't lie, I'd be missing the old way of doing things sometimes. I'm like, man, like
So
it's new shit, man.
I want to dig deeper, but I don't want this to be a Breath of the Wild podcast. I'll ask you later.
All right.
I'm interested.
Curious.
I mean, it's a great game still.
Breath of the Wild has the higher scores.
Interesting.
On Metacritic?
Yeah.
I blame the caves, man. Fucking dark. You
Granted,
know what?
it's by 1 point, but it's still the higher
Oh, I
score.
mean, that doesn't
1 point.
higher score. Come on.
higher
I
score.
mean,
1 point. It's also
but
been out longer, so more people could play
the
it. add
1
to
point
score.
The 1 point counts though, because like I didn't say it was vastly better. I just said it was
also-
better. So like 1
also,
point
if you're
is fine.
at the places like just in ratings, Breath of the Wild has more perfect scores and just on a higher average than Tears of the Kingdom. Like a lot of Tears of the Kingdom got a lot of 4s, whereas some of those 4s are either 4.5s or 5s for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of that has to do, for at least for me, like visually, it's not that different looking. Like,
I mean,
I bet
wasn't
that's a lot of
expecting that. It's still on the Switch.
But I bet that's a lot of
No,
it. I
I
bet there were
agree,
a lot
it's
of
still on
people
the
who dinged
Switch.
it because it does look the same.
it looks very similar than the last. It's just like a.
I'm kind of curious then, what's God of War compared to Ragnarok?
I'm about to look that up next.
I actually personally liked God of War better than Ragnarok.
Now
like
that's
2018.
drugs.
did it?
Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't think so. I mean, it was my opinion, so of course I wouldn't think so. But
Yeah.
from my perspective, I just felt like the story was a bit more cohesive, and it's like God of War Ragnarok. We're building up to Ragnarok, and then Ragnarok happened in like an hour, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, was that what I was getting ready for? Like, it just kind of it didn't feel like it culminated to a big thing. It just,
I don't think that was the point. It was preventing Ragnarok, and they were successful.
Either
at that.
way.
But
it
anyway,
was
go ahead, Ditch.
Ragnarok wasn't a thing.
It tracks. It by and large, God of War has better scores than Ragnarok. Granted, both of these games, I do want to stress, both of these games are both very high. We're talking 4s to 4.5.
Right.
Yeah.
But by and large, God of War has more perfects than Ragnarok, and some of those 4.5s or 4s were either 4.5 or 5 for God of War.
Yeah.
So I
There
think
are people that stopped the game before it got to the changing moment. That's what I say.
You think they gave it a rating and just quit?
I do. I think they were playing the game. It was very similar, very similar. They didn't get to the part where it changes. I was
Dang.
like,
I don't think that's I think
That's-
to Jamie's point, I think it is a lot of this. It felt very similar.
Yeah, it's hard for
And-
sequels
It
to
is.
get better
Yeah.
scores than the previous game.
Yeah, it's
Always.
not. It
Like
doesn't
the
do
Anger
enough.
Boda section either.
The what?
Yes, it's
A lot of people didn't like the Anger Boda section with.
Oh
Atreus.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't mind that. Yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
didn't mind it either.
I didn't
Trace is
either.
more annoying in the first game though, so that's still
Oh
weird.
my
but
God.
alright.
Atreus is
Let
better
me
in this
tell
game.
you,
For
This
sure.
little boy.
Miles better in this game.
Yeah, way better. Yeah, but I can see the similarities in terms
Yeah,
of like
for
it's
sure.
not a jump, especially graphically. It's not a jump, huge jump.
There
For
wasn't
sure.
the similarities for me. It was really like, I guess the way they went about telling their story that
I know, you
I
didn't like
liked
it. Weird.
God of War better, but I still think they're both great. They're both great.
Yeah, same. Same thing with Zelda's. Both great. I'm not
Mhm.
complaining at all.
Yeah.
Exactly. Game Awards 2023. We didn't talk about the winners hardly at all.
Oh
But,
yeah, let me go. I had them up too. I closed them to start talking about the other stuff.
but were there any surprises? Really, I feel like that went pretty much how we all expected.
I'm surprised Baldur's Gate didn't win more. It completely wrecked my fantasy predictions.
You wanted more?
I didn't want it more. I expected more. And that's why I lost.
Yeah, I think I expect more from Zelda, but
Ah,
I kind
people are on
of.
like a hate Zelda train, so I wasn't expecting it.
I don't know. I didn't know. Here's the thing: it's hard for me to get too
That's fair.
thinking about Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake because I didn't play them. So I just like word of mouth. A lot of it, like, yeah, it seems like they're gonna win it all just based on. Like I thought they'd win best narrative. Alan Wake and it didn't work out that way, but like Oh, I was pretty close on most of them, but
I think the thing that shocked me the most was how fast Diablo died.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It didn't really get that fanfare before Diablo came out, and I would say that month or so after it came
Baldur's
out,
Gate crushed.
Yeah,
it was huge for it.
But then
it just seemed like it just said.
Yeah, as quickly as it rose, it also fell just as quickly. So that's why I wasn't expecting much from Diablo at the Game Awards, unfortunately.
I thought it would have got the same love as
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate killed it to what Joel just said.
Yeah, because it's similar. They're not saying
same thing to me.
Similar, but Baldur's Gate took it to the next
Come at me, same thing.
It's definitely more customizable in Baldur's Gate.
For sure, way more customizable.
Diablo, and this is the most customizable Diablo's ever been, to be fair. But I haven't played Baldur's Gate, so I don't know story-wise how it hits compared to Diablo and stuff.
I've realized I'm just not a gamer.
You're just a different type of
like those kinds of games.
Yeah, you just don't like those. But I will say the difference with I haven't played a lot of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Diablo, just from what I've already played of Diablo, I was just like, I can tell this is about to be more of just this over and over. The choices that you get, like you were even given in the game, didn't really it felt like it was going to splinter your experience.
Right.
So it didn't feel like my experience is going to differ from Joel, even though we were different classes. I'm sure we made different decisions. Yeah. I feel like most of our story beats were going to be the same.
Only thing would have been different is the fact that you could approach it differently. You could start in different parts of the map. It doesn't. You don't necessarily have to fight like linear, like boss this, boss. We can all fight in different order, but he's not wrong. It's all kind of the same.
Whereas Baldur's Gate, those choices impacted you every point of the game. Like I was reading at one point, at the very beginning, there's a character you can meet right there, and the rest of how she interacts with you determines what you would have did right there. So like you could have completely bypassed her, you would have still ended up meeting her, but your entire interaction would have changed because of that. And I think that was sort of the difference. You really felt like you were able to do much more in that game.
Just like what happened the other day, right, Didge? I was playing Baldur's Gate and I made a completely different decision from you, and I had a companion and you didn't.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. That was completely that's a perfect example. Because I went into
what you're gonna say.
It's right after that part. That's why I didn't want to go into details. So I don't know how far Mike played, but it was right after that. There's a character that you can meet. That one, I killed the person. Mike didn't. He had a companion.
Yeah. And so like that right there is probably what gave it the edge. I am surprised Diablo didn't win the live service award though.
I don't think they got nominated.
What won that? Was it Fortnite?
No, it was Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, best ongoing game. Yeah,
they switched it to ongoing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
I'm not surprised about Cyberpunk.
I thought Fortnite
that much.
No, ongoing. I'm sorry.
The title
Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14 one
that
ongoing.
Yeah.
What did Cyberpunk?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I gotta scroll down to it. It's.
Let me see.
Typewriter.
Seriously.
Am I on the wrong year? Wait, I might be on the wrong year. I'm sorry.
Oh my lord! How did you do that?
I have no idea.
I was gonna say I didn't know Final Fantasy 14 was still going strong, man.
Oh, definitely. That
also
always
shocked
updates
me.
and stuff happening with that.
MMOs, man, especially Final Fantasy.
Cyberpunk didn't win it. Final Fantasy 14 was nominated. That's what it was this year.
Okay.
So they could have won it back to back.
Fucking crazy.
You could have just read it back. But no, yeah, Cyberpunk, you're right. Cyberpunk did win, which also kind of confused me. I'm going to be honest.
Site just broke for me. Weird.
Jeff, pay your bills.
I don't know what just happened. That's so weird. But yeah, I'm not super surprised since I heard a lot of people say good things about Cyberpunk, which I'm happy because I was one of the people that was like, yeah, Cyberpunk is cool. And they're like, what are you talking about? It didn't run the best on my PC, but it ran. So, I ran with that. But now that it's like, in a shape that it should have been previously, a lot of people are kind of opening up to it. So I'm happy about that. It was, again, like what we were saying last podcast. Should it be recognized for them finally fixing the mistakes that they left in the game? I don't know. You can't fully blame the devs for that, but I don't know.
it's also interesting, even by their own nominees. Why are we really counting a DLC as an ongoing game? I mean, Cyberpunk was up against Apex, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. All of those games, their ongoing thing is that they're constantly releasing packs, releasing levels, releasing different modes, whatever it is, that consistently gives you a new experience. Whereas this was just a DLC, a one-off DLC at that.
Yeah, it's like, I guess like
Fortnite just added 3 games.
Right.
Yeah,
So those are ongoing games where your experience is never ending.
It's also like that happened before the voting, I guess. So you have to put that in there. But I think they might consider Cyberpunk an ongoing game because they have been updating it since launch, because it launched broken. And so technically it has somewhat of that similar cycle.
Congratulations, you took 2 years to make a functional game.
Yeah, like that's such a weird like, definition.
That's like you should have probably won it originally, but you guys fucked up so bad. We'll give it to you 2 years later or whatever.
They did mess up so bad that PlayStation took it off the store, and that never happens. That was
crazy.
It's kind of like, Angela Bassett. She didn't win the Oscar, but Jamie Lee Curtis, she got the honorary. Like, you've been here long. Good job. So
supporting, right?
Yeah, I guess just some recognition. But
it's just that was one of the weird winners, just because, like I said, I don't at this point. I'm not sure they understand what an ongoing game is, because
they don't even know what a fighting game is. Sifu was nominated last year.
They incorrectly determined they selected an indie game that wasn't an indie game. So there needs to be a little bit more research when these categories are made.
That's fair.
I think The Martian was a comedy. There's a lot of weird shits they finally.
The Bear was just nominated as a comedy in the Golden Globes, and I'm like, who was laughing? I was not laughing.
There was something that got nominated. Some movie. Christian, I saw him tweet 5 times about it. I can't remember what movie it was. Let me see if I can find his tweet. But he was clearly heated.
On what?
It was some movie that got nominated for a Golden Globe for comedy today. May December. And I haven't seen that movie. That's the name of the movie. It's called May December. I've never seen it. I have no idea about it. But by the way, is Mike frozen for anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or he's puckering up.
But yeah, it's called May December. I have no idea anything about this movie, but I saw Christian tweet it. I saw like people retweet, and I saw him retweet their retweets to make sure that he let it be known that this movie is not a comedy. So it's not only the Game Awards that misrepresents categories, I should say.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Interesting.
True that.
Maybe it's kind of like do the creators of the movie say it's a comedy? Kind of like, Blue Eye Samurai, the creators said they're not an anime.
Yes, kind of. To get nominated, you have to stretch the truth a little bit, because if you can't win in the drama category, you can be like, this was kind of a musical. Like, if the Marvels wanted to put themselves in as a musical, they could, because they had one sequence that was a musical.
So I wonder if it's the same way with Game Awards.
Interesting. Maybe. I could see it.
Finagle.
It's possible. That's why it's like I don't put that entirely on the show itself, but the voters also have to vote on that too. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's a good segue, though. A lot happened. A lot of talk has been happening since the Game Awards. I think IGN had a stat of only 20% of the awards show was actually about the Game Awards itself, or something crazy like that.
Yeah, they said 30 minutes of the 3 hours was devoted to awards. I was just like, that's insane.
So what should they do? You're Jeff Keighley, 2024. What do you do?
I think it's like we were talking earlier. You have to do the 2 events. You do something that's awards focused, where you are celebrating the industry. You are having this aspect of celebration of gaming, but then you do a Winter Games Fest style thing where it is this is where all of your your showcase, essentially. It's your Winter Games Fest showcase. So you're seeing you're seeing not the awards, but the trailers, the sneak peeks, the gameplay, demos and all of that. Treat it like a true celebration rather than I just want to shoehorn everything together.
That's a fair assessment, I'd say.
treat it like the Game Developers Conference. That's what I was looking at before we got here, because I thought this was going to come up. They do a very good job at it. They have their Independence Game Festival, which obviously you have the pavilion of all, like they're showcasing all these indie games. They have the awards ceremony, and they have their Game Developers Choice Awards. And one of the things that I saw in their Independence Game Fest pavilion, all the games that were showcased in the award show, they're there so you can try it out. So that's something you could really do. It's almost like a E3, but for the games, of this award show. Then you can still have your showcase of all the stuff that's coming out. You can still have the award show. You just sort of make it more of an event rather than I'm trying to make an event and I'm just throwing everything at this 1 3-hour thing. Because nobody's ever going to come out fully happy with it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead, Trayvon, sorry.
I was just saying, I mean, usually he just comes out with vote, right? There's no who should be nominated. Like, he doesn't do that, right? Like, he doesn't do like a vote. Who should be nominated
the jury
first.
votes on who should be nominated, I believe.
Who's the jury?
It's a bunch of game critics like IGN, like GameSpot.
Yeah, a bunch of professionals in the industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like people might be more, I don't know, invested, happy with it if they got to nominate games as well, instead of them just doing it like that, like a secret council.
That's kind of what the Player's Voice Award is supposed to be. But the fact that, like, it's kind of like the Electoral College, like we can vote for who we think president should be, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter.
I honestly don't know why Jeff even lets fans vote and for that specific award, because the insiders are the ones whose votes matter. It's like in sports, right? Like the media votes for the MVP. And they will tell you on their respective shows who they're voting for MVP or who they're voting for the All-Star game. And it's like those are the ones that actually matter. The fan vote might make up 1% of the actual voting total when it comes to calculating that. So I don't know. I think
people talking, but I mean, if it's all ultimately just already chosen, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I think the Game Awards doesn't really know what it wants to be at this point. And I've said this multiple times, but like, I know a lot of people don't like award shows. They don't care about the Oscars or the Emmys, but like, if you're going to do that and you're going to have a day where the people who worked on these games get honored with an award. And again, that may be pointless to us because, again, like Trayvon said during our stream the other day, the games he plays aren't even the ones that get nominated. So why would he care about this award show? But the people who make the games care, and this is the only way they get recognized. So to give them 20 seconds and then to do this
quickly too.
They gave them 30 seconds.
They did. It goes to the point of, to your point, they don't know what they want to do. Do they want to be the gaming version of the Oscars or the Critics' Choice Awards or the MTV Music Awards?
Yeah.
Those are all three award shows. You can say they all matter for certain things, but there's a reason why the Oscars or the Emmys are the Oscars or the Emmys, and the Critics' Choice Awards and the People's Choice Awards and the VMAs are those award shows. Those are the ones where the fans are going to have more of the voice. Those are the ones where, obviously, in the Critics' Choice, you're relying on just the media sort of to judge it, whereas the Oscars and the Emmys, it's supposed to feel a little bit more prestigious.
Yeah.
And as of right now, we don't really know what the Game Awards is supposed to be for it.
Yeah. Because clearly the priorities aren't the awards themselves, because they spent 30 minutes on it. And so it's like, at that point, don't even do it. Like there was points during that show where Jeff Keighley would come out, and then we'd get the sidebar, and he just reads off the nominees, and he says, "You won." And then we cut to something else. They don't even get a chance to come up on stage or anything.
Indie got that. Like, those indie developers
that's awful.
Don't have the marketing budget to get their names out there like that already.
Yeah,
They're one of their biggest things of this year just got relegated to a side thing in between seeing a Muppet and Simu Liu coming on stage. Like,
and he was talking about like everything besides games, pretty much.
No, man.
Listen, I like seeing them, but also if you're gonna be at the Game Awards, if you're gonna be at the Game Awards, talk about some games or something. Like he was talking about getting hurt at basketball, and
sure was.
Something else, and I don't know.
They had Anthony Mackie up there going back and forth with crowd members. That got more time.
Yeah, they had the freaking Fallout people come out. I don't even remember what they were talking about. Like, all right, you're making a show. Thank you.
It's definitely not about the awards. It's definitely not.
Right.
So, at this point, I agree.
Game showcase.
And that's fine. Yeah. Just say it's Winter Games Fest and be done with it. It's weird. It's really weird.
I was pretty disappointed with like them kind of ushering the developers off the stage before they could even really like get any kind of like thank yous out or and it's weird because I was like watching the Country Music Awards for work, and I don't like country music, but I feel like they did that presentation a lot better, and we had like a lot more like people moments where people were talking about like, as a kid, like I was like not confident in myself or whatever, and then I started doing music, and now I feel like a cool kid or whatever. And it's like, just like little cute things like that. Like I can't really pull any kind of moments like those out of the Game Awards because they didn't really have time to talk. It's like when they were trying to get into things like some of the people at Larian Studios were talking about like one of the developers like passed away like a couple weeks before the show happened, and they were like trying to honor his memory and saying like like we made it on stage, we did this thing, and like being played off the stage. Like that's pretty horrible.
It up right at that moment. Which is crazy.
That's pretty hot. They pull. Hold on, let me. I actually rendered this today. I'm like, this is gonna be great. Multi-use. I rendered this today, but they literally had a sign like that at the front of the stage telling people like, all right, your time is up, get off the stage. Like this, we don't want to see this anymore. Not trying to be disrespectful to them, but they're like not respecting them and giving them some time to speak, which is insane. And I understand run a show, we have to keep things going, but you definitely should have factored in some time for these people who have the chance to accept these awards to be able to say like what they want to say within reason.
There are people who are never going to get nominated again. So that was the only moment they'd ever be able to speak on that stage, and you rushed them off. I cover awards for work, Emmys, Golden Globes, Oscars. So I see a lot of award shows, and the thing that usually sticks with me are the speeches, like Kyuhei Kwan's speech, right, last year for Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Bong Joon-ho talking about Parasite, or Del Toro in tears talking about Pinocchio, or The Shape of Water. And it's like the Game Awards don't allow us to humanize the people who are making these games. It's sad because the only reaction we got were Spider-Man fans being mad that Yuri didn't win best performance, right? Like the guy who won that award was only on stage for like 30 seconds max, and so it's like
Neil Newman.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially like you guys were saying before, the indie developers need that the most. Like Neil Druckmann doesn't need to be on that stage. Like I get that. He's going to be up there for every game they make, for the shows, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But those indie developers definitely need it.
Yeah.
No hate to Neil, but I was like, dang, like somebody else could have been up here. But yeah, it's also, I feel like out of all the creative, like entertainment industries, this industry especially, like people should see that there are people, like actual humans making these games, because developers and like actors and like a lot of people that are part of the development process get death threats for making video games, for making like crafting like the story for a game. It's it's insane. It doesn't make any sense. And so I feel like anytime you can get a people moment, you should.
It's the one industry where we don't know the people who are making the things.
Yeah.
Like, we know the directors for movies, we know the actors that star in them, right? But like animation and video games, it's people behind a desk for years at a time. They can get 3 hours once a year at an awards show to get their time to shine, you know?
Yeah. And it's always like, so far, it's always been the same people, even though it's like, you know, we like seeing Todd Howard, Neil Druckmann, and like Reggie. Well, Reggie didn't go on the stage, but he was there. It was cool to see him. But it's like
the camera on them. I know that for
they
sure.
did. We do like seeing those people, but there's also so many more people behind like Bethesda and Naughty Dog and like all these other studios. So it would be nice to see them. Are you muted?
They're the friends of Jeff Keighley. That's why they get preferential treatment. Like, that's why Kojima's at every single show. He's gonna keep showing 10 seconds of Death Stranding 2 until that game comes out. And I get it. Again, like we were talking before, when you get along with somebody, it's easy for you to work with them and have them keep coming back. But this show in particular, being the Game Awards, you have to use that as an opportunity to get other voices, to get other people on that stage. And I hope Keighley sees that criticism and takes it to heart and like just makes the necessary adjustments, because they're almost there. The Game Awards are fun. Like, other award shows don't give us cool trailers. The Oscars don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's things here that are cool and work and that are engaging, but he's got to have to tweak the formula a little bit.
That's why, you know, I encourage these publishers, look at the Xbox developer _direct. They should really take out the underscore. But even just taking out the whole, like, oh, she likes Xbox, whatever. Like, if you look at that presentation, it's developers talking about their game, how much they love it. And sometimes they'll give a little anecdote like, oh, yeah, I thought of this thing for the game because we, you know, a dog ran around the office. We're like, oh, that's crazy. We should put that in the game. You hear little things like that. And so far, I think Xbox and maybe Nintendo have done little things like that where we get to hear the developers speak, and then there'll be like one-off videos from like all the publishers where you get to hear the developers, but it won't be like an event where it'll have a ton of eyes. I think we need more of those. I don't know why Xbox only did one this year. I kind of missed that. So hopefully let's have more developer directs, and like, you know, other publishers and console makers, do your own version. Be like Microsoft, steal from somebody else.
I do like hearing the behind the scenes and things like that. That would be cool to see more of that and give them the opportunity to do it.
Or even allow. I know that's one of the reasons why I like Warframe so much. It is a lot of that. They do a weekly dev stream where it's a Twitch stream where the dev is playing the game, or their community manager's playing and they're sitting with them, but they're literally just in their office talking about either some new updates or just some of the stuff behind the game. So you do feel like you're drawn in with it because you sit there and you talk with them.
Yeah, Insomniac also does that. But unfortunately, everybody's always like, "Where's Wolverine? Where's Wolverine?"
Yeah, you definitely got to deal with that with the toxic game people. But it is nice to, like you said, just to see them on a personal level.
They did it a lot for Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know. It seems like some more games are starting to do it.
Rocksteady did it with the Batman games. That's why I noticed that none of those people were the same when they did it for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, most of the people left when Suicide Squad got started.
They got new ones.
Yep.
Yikes.
Usually not a good sign.
So excited.
Wishing them the best, you know. Hopefully. But yeah,
Jesus.
Though that's
somebody just didn't sound like the rest.
Well, the Game Awards were something. You know, here's to another great year of games. Hopefully, there's less turnover and
honestly
destruction in the industry.
There was a lot more like late releases into 2024 and like 2025 releases than there were early in 2023. So the beginning of the year is still somewhat of a mystery.
It is.
We got God of War tomorrow though, so that's cool.
We do.
Yes, for free.
Whoa!
For free indeed.
Did it Final Fantasy? See, would have played it. It was free. Okay.
That was kind of shady because they're
silly.
like, we're doing this because we love our community. It's like, yeah, cool. The shade. Oh man, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how next year's show goes.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next topic, though. Spent a long time here, but this live action show is still happening, I guess. My Hero Academia in production, according to Collider.com. We haven't talked about this on either channel at all. No. It was announced as a movie, but according to Collider, it's unknown what this project is, so it might be a series, which I think is...
I'm here for it.
That's very interesting. They did the
I'll watch it.
Same thing with Great Pretender. We don't know if it's going to be a movie or show. It's like an episodic show because they're showing it in theaters. So, but they didn't say it was a movie.
Maybe
so
it's
like,
one episode like Demon Slayer. That's another thing.
Oh no! Don't do that. No.
I went last time. It was actually pretty fun.
But then you see the same thing again, though.
That was why it was fun for Mike. He hadn't finished that season prior to. I remember we talked about it.
That is also true. Maybe I'll feel differently this time. But those episodes were great.
As someone who did finish that season and went to go see it, I was like, "Oh, this was not worth it."
IMAX this time, though, Didge. It's an IMAX now.
All right, I don't still think it's gonna be worth it, but that's fair.
It depends what that second episode's like. That's the one we haven't seen.
I imagine it's gonna be good, but I can't convince me to go. I'm sorry.
Boku no Hero Academia sees Izuku Midoriya go to UA to master his newly found power and become the world's #1 hero. You guys talked about Naruto a couple weeks ago. That's getting a live action movie. We already had One Piece season 1 that is getting a second season. Avatar: Last Airbender comes out in February. Do you guys think this can work?
With a high budget, sure.
I mean, they made One Piece work.
They did make One Piece work. I'm trying.
One Piece ain't got this many abilities.
Are you serious?
Not right now. It doesn't.
Have you ever watched that show?
Not right now. It doesn't.
But that's why I'm
right. Not yet. They don't.
Like that show has.
I'm trying to remember the first season of My Hero, though.
They got crazy people too. But
in the first season of My Hero Academia, All Might fights a giant Nomu. Todoroki freezes a giant building. Bakugo blows up a building.
Yeah, there's but blowing up. That's in the scale of VFX. I feel like they got that down. They know how to do it. Well, let's not.
Actually,
yeah.
That's the time period we're in right now. He can only flick his fingers and break them.
Yeah, that's fair.
The show good enough then, because I felt like almost every character had that ability.
Every character does have an ability.
Okay,
it's gonna be there's 20 students in Deku's class alone, not counting teachers, not counting the other school, not counting the villains. So just by sheer volume, even if they don't use their abilities that often,
still enough.
Yeah.
You still need to have. Yeah, that's fair.
Probably still better off as a series, like most anime. Let's be real, hard to pull off in a movie.
It might be cheaper to do a movie.
I don't even know how you do a movie because Deku getting into UA is like 5 episodes by itself. How do you cover all that?
Yeah,
that would be the movie.
That's hard.
It ends with him getting into the school where he can meet his friends.
Introduction. You didn't even get to see the students.
Who's doing this?
Good question.
Ooh, that is a good question.
That is a very good question.
Let me pull it up. I know that one of the producers of the Monarch series on Apple is working on the show.
Now, Apple, that'd be interesting for Apple to do because they haven't done anything superhero related.
Yeah,
well, no, this is Netflix for sure.
Yeah,
I thought this is it is a Netflix production.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's US produced too. So
okay.
Harold says that he's doing it. He loves the series. He loves working on it. And apparently, Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, is involved in some capacity.
So
I know he's involved as much as Oda was in One Piece, but he's more than the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So there's that.
There's that.
True.
Yeah, I was wondering about like what streamer it was on, and and the creators involved. That's good. It's good. It's good sign.
Yeah.
That's a good start,
Good
right?
sign.
It's a good start. Horikoshi loves Western media, so I'm sure he was jumping at the chance to make a live action version of his show.
He's a big Spider-Man guy, so
yeah,
it's fun to see. Because there's no way I'm catching up on the show. So
it's not that bad.
It's possible. Listen,
it's not One Piece.
How many episodes of Attack on Titan are there?
no, I'm never
89.
watching that. I'm never.
There are
watching
more
that.
than Attack on Titan. There's what 130.
That's not too
My
far,
Hero
you
just
know?
crossed the 100 episode mark with this last season.
You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
So-
I think you like it.
Just watch like a couple
Not bad.
episodes
It
a day.
is
See, my
Really-
problem
really
with that
kind
is when I did watch the show, it looked really cool. And then what was that thing we watched at Comic-Con?
The filler episode.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
That
yeah,
made me
yeah, no. That's not good
that made me
representation.
not want to go back.
That's not
I
good
was like,
representation.
I think I
What
That
started
was
was it?
filler. That was
Absolutely
100% filler.
That was a
The-
filler episode, and it wasn't written by the mangaka, so it doesn't even count. It's not. canon.
They
What
played a
episode?
card game. And
felt
I
like
don't want to spoil too
advertisement.
much, but
It
yeah,
felt
they
like
played.
advertisement.
It actually,
The
I see the
episode's on
picture.
Crunchyroll. You're not spoiling anything.
Oh, I
That's
thought it
what
was a Christmas special. Is it not?
No, it came out November
It was
30th.
Christmas special.
Oh,
That's still in line for a Christmas special.
yeah. I thought it was. What I mean, okay. Well, so it's basically an advertisement for a new card game that they made, and it's still kind of fun because it's like.
It's
Now that
cute.
you don't have the consequences of like these two characters would never fight each other. We can't do that. If they're playing a card game, then they can fight each other. So I thought it was kind of interesting, even though I was like, whose chest is that? Even though it wasn't like a great My Hero episode per se. So yeah, definitely don't judge the series by that one episode.
No, I really was going to that panel like, let's see if this makes me want to jump back in. And I watched it. I was like, is that serious? I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it's not the one you
I mean,
want to judge.
every
it by.
anime has fillers, though. You should
Yeah,
never watch
yeah.
them.
Trust some fillers can
Some are bad. Some are very
are
bad.
bad.
outright
This is a bad
terrible.
one. This is a terrible one.
Some of them don't represent
man.
the show at all.
That's crazy.
They
What?
shouldn't have shown that.
They shouldn't have shown it.
That's not fair. I was like, woo.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting somebody who's never seen the series.
Or
to
just
jump-
just
Yeah.
needed to get back into it.
Tell
based off
me.
of
I don't think they were going in looking like I figured
Yeah.
you showed up to
Honestly,
get already in.
Anybody could enjoy that. Honestly, like if you thought,
Yeah, it's
you
probably
Well,
just a bad
that's what
filler.
I'm
in
saying.
line
If
for a
if
panel?
you,
woo.
well, I mean,
The
we
fans
did
of the show
we got-
probably did.
What did we get that was free? We got something. I don't know.
I know you remember.
But yeah, like if you imagine like, Harry Potter, they have like a little special episode or something where it's like Harry and Ron fight because they're playing a video game or something, but it's characters that are actually them. Like you would probably like that because like, that would never normally happen. But now you've given them a situation where they can fight.
I'm fine with Wizard's Chess for like 5 minutes. I ain't gonna do a whole episode of it.
Well, I mean, I tried.
Yeah.
Well, long and short, that episode sucked. If you liked the first few episodes you probably watched, you'll probably like the rest of the show.
Yeah.
We're currently in the war arc of the series, so by the time you get caught up, they're in
Sounds
World War
neat.
III. So
It gets crazy.
it gets
Interesting.
really crazy.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch it. This is probably the live action adaptation I'm least excited for because I don't think it can work. But again, One Piece happened, so I don't know.
Mhm.
I figure if you could get him that right, then you can probably get a lot of things right.
It's funny to me because when we were walking around Comic-Con, I was like, that's Luffy? We were like, some of the things I saw, I was like, he don't look like that in the show. I was like, what is that? So I'm curious to see when Netflix gets to that stuff, how that looks.
Oh, that'll be a while.
That's gonna be a while. You probably
Yeah.
saw
Be a long
like
time.
time skip.
I don't know what you saw, but
I think he saw Gear 5.
He looked like
Luffy.
he was like Super
Oh, they-
Saiyan or some shit.
white
Trey
hair?
Ron, that's a million episodes from now.
Yeah,
on.
Netflix,
They probably will
that's
never
like
get
ahead.
there.
That's ahead.
Bro,
Netflix ain't getting
Trayvon,
past, like,
I
20,
still haven't got there.
Joel's like 200 episodes away from that point.
Netflix will skip ahead. They're not gonna make me wait that long.
That's a lot.
Oh, then that show's gonna go down the tube.
Yeah,
that'd be great for me.
That's a lot.
No, it won't, because you're gonna skip to a point and you're not gonna be able to follow along or enjoy it because they skipped 1,000 episodes of character development.
He's got other like gears before he gets to 5, so you'll still see a transformation. 5. Yeah,
there's like 2 sets of 4.
There are. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I mean you're fine. You're fine. I've seen.
Can you even spoil One Piece at this point?
I really can't wait to see how they explain this power. Like,
which one? Which one?
Whatever the gears stuff. I can't wait.
Oh, Gear 5. Yeah,
all of it. Any of that, because I was like, I want to see. I can't wait to see how they get to that. Her up season 2, season 3 or 4.
It's pretty simple. The second gear is very. It just gets red. And Stevie.
I hate that gear so much. It's so visually uninteresting.
His legs start to pump blood. Like,
oh, I've seen that. Then I didn't know that was a different thing.
It's gear 2. That's second gear, and then you got third gears. Yeah, and then there's
fourth. When does it go black? Is that 4?
4, yeah.
Oh,
there's 2 versions of that.
Interesting. Okay.
Bounce Man and Snake Man.
Does Zoro get a 4th sword? That's my only question.
No.
Where does he put it?
No 4th sword.
Don't think about it. You know where it's going.
Oh God.
Where does he put it? Wow.
What we watching, people? It's been a couple weeks.
Wicked City. I'm enjoying that. So I told you guys before, it's like a Black Witch Coven show. It's very interesting to watch because it's just I guess like a little bit of similar themes to like Charmed and stuff. We have like the elders, like the most powerful ones of the of the land or whatever, and you have like the council in this show that's kind of like the same thing. One of them's going rogue. It's fun to see how they do it, and like I said, I just wanted to keep going and like keep getting a bigger budget each time because they're I admit some of the stuff is a little rough, but I do enjoy the show, the concept, and everything. So, yeah, I'm enjoying that. Fellow Travelers. That show is it's sexy, but it's like really sad and like that they like have to hide so much in that show. It's like political drama with like basically everybody gay and everybody hiding. Honestly, that's how it is. Like it's like they even have like a if you're suspected, you can be fired from your job and all that stuff. Like it's crazy. Like they investigate you, come to your house and like, so how long you been living with this person? What do y'all do? Y'all alone? It's like stuff like that's weird. I'm like damn, like they were that strict about it back then.
What are you supposed to answer that? Like, what was? Oh yeah, I sleep with her every night. Like, that's a
weird. Like, go to town.
They literally have to lie and like sometimes throw each other under the bus.
Like, what if I'm just like, yeah, sometimes we watch movies, just chill.
What kind of movies?
Like
no, literally, that's the type of stuff they were asking. Like,
that's crazy.
Lie detector test and everything. It's crazy. I was like, wow. But yeah, it's an interesting show. Like, and it shows like 2 time periods. Like old, how they used to go through all that, and then you like go to the future. You see, like, wow, you guys are so free now, and I couldn't do that back then. And now my life sucks, and I'm old. It's interesting to see. But yeah, this show is very good.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's. Oh, and Found is crazy. Yeah, Found is crazy.
I'm starting.
Yeah. It's a great twist after the first episode, the end of it. I was like, oh, I didn't expect that, and it just keeps getting wilder.
That's the Peacock series, right?
Yes. Shanola Hampton. Yeah, enjoy it a lot.
I don't have Peacock. I need to get a trial and binge through some of these shows.
I went back to the big 3.
I'll go next. I'm watching Monarch, which is great. I would have spent this entire time talking about Monarch, but then I went and saw Godzilla -1, and it blew Monarch out the water. Godzilla -1 is my favorite movie of the year. I sat on it for a day. I thought long and hard. That movie is amazing. It's by far the best Godzilla movie. It did. I think I was talking to Joel about it. It did literally what no other kaiju movie has done and made me care about the humans. I cared about them more than I cared about Godzilla. It's such a good story, and I think one of the things that this movie does, and I know Japanese Godzilla movies do a lot more than the American-made ones, they treat Godzilla as sort of an overall monster. Like it's a spectacle. It's a threat to everything. Whereas the American-made ones, it's very much big monster fights big monster. And obviously, they make some great movies with that. But the allegory of Godzilla just really being an overall threat to humanity in general made for so much better storytelling. And
that kind of sounds like a throwback to the original movies, because that's kind of the entire point of Godzilla.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, it's set in the years ending World War II.
Yeah.
So it very much is the original allegory for Godzilla being the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
You can see what, how Japan was impacted by the war, how
so sad.
It was so sad. How everyone is sort of dealing with the grips of being out of this war, coming to terms with what Imperial Japan meant for them just as people. Then Godzilla comes, and how they're trying to respond to that. And like I said, it's so much more of the human element, and it made you really care about that rather than just saying, "Oh my God, this big lizard is about to come and destroy everything." Yeah.
It's different.
Oh yeah, it's easily my favorite movie of the year.
It's emotional.
It is.
Not, and you don't go into that movie expecting it to be as emotional as it was, and it definitely pulls on a lot of heartstrings from the beginning to end, like all the way through. You're like, boop, 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 boop. You're like, oh my God. Don't make me cry. Why? I didn't come here to cry. But it tries really well. And look, I like Monster versus Monster a lot.
Same.
But the fact that you can have that dichotomy, you can have the Monster versus Monster Godzillas from the past. Like they did that a lot in the past too. And then you have the classic horror-esque Godzilla, that threat. Man-made threat almost, it feels like, even though they don't know what it is, it's just, he came out of nowhere, but the nuclear war really brought it up basically. And it's like it's a different, it's funny because when you first see him, he's like as big as what
that first scene, it's crazy because I was like, yo, what is going on? Because I thought we were gonna jump like far in time after seeing that. Me
too. So I'm thinking it was gonna be a huge jump after that because he kind of looks like the size of a T-Rex first scene. But it's really well done. Really well. It's probably the best written Godzilla movie I've ever seen. And sometimes those Godzilla movies are hard to get through because they're kind of boring. The old ones.
A lot of times it boils down to, I just really like seeing these big monsters fight.
Right, exactly. I'm just waiting for the end. But the narrative is really, really good.
There you go.
Godzilla fans, we eating.
Yeah, for real. You get
don't forget, Godzilla and Kong still come out early next year, so we eating as Godzilla fans.
Yeah, big fan of Godzilla.
Kaiju number 8. That's also gonna come.
Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju fans are gonna be
excited for that.
I gotta see that. I've been interested.
The manga's, I need to pick it back up. I haven't read manga in a while.
I think I'm a couple chapters behind. I will be reading that tonight.
It's on my backlog of anime.
Well, it's not out yet, so you're fine.
Yeah, it's just the manga. It's just the manga that's out right now.
They're reading the manga. We're waiting for the anime. So.
I thought it was.
I'm doing a little bit of both. Like I'll read a couple chapters every now and then.
All right, so there's an anime coming then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
I was there for the announcement of that. That was fun.
Very exciting.
Vader was there actually. It was very random. Like, oh, he's here. But yeah, I finished watching Ted Lasso. I really like the ending. Really great show.
About time.
What else? I've been slowly catching up on Dr. Stone. Really enjoyed this season. The season is insane. I love it. It's kind of not digging as deep into like the science stuff, which I don't mind because I feel like the first core, it was like almost too much science and not enough like, okay, why are we doing the science? That's been good. And last one, the Squid Game competition show. I finished that as well. There's a lot of craziness going on with that, like more behind the scenes drama than on camera drama, which has been interesting. Check it out. I recommend it. It's interesting. It's fun.
Oh, I might do that. I love Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've been rewatching Cobra Kai. That was
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
That's
good show.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
That season 2 finale gets me every time.
Bro, you're wrong for asking us to stay. You're wrong.
No, that made sense. That was good. That was good to finish out right there.
No.
Oh, that's where you guys ended it?
Yeah.
We're watching. They haven't seen it, obviously, for folks listening. So they got to the episode where Robbie kind of kicks Miguel.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Ouch.
That was a rough moment.
Yeah.
That was. I was kind of thinking oh no, it won't be bad. He'll be hurt, but he'll be okay. And then it's I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
When you see him falling like this for 3 seconds, you're like, oh, this is gonna be bad.
Oh, that looked bad. Oof.
Yeah,
Ouch.
His life is all twisted and everything. It was
messed up.
Especially as soon as he shows mercy. That's messed up.
Yeah. Oh, that was that Cobra Kai and Robbie.
The episode. Robbie's never been to Cobra Kai though.
No, but his father's Cobra Kai.
Exactly.
Cobra Kai is just in his DNA, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yes.
It gets even crazier, honestly. In terms of who does what, where, why, when. I love that show. It's very well written.
It's so
I can't believe they have that
corny show.
It is, but it's still good corny.
It's a good show, but I needed to make sure that everyone knows this show is so corny.
Oh, we know this. It's 80s personified.
It's for sure 80s personified. I told you, it felt like I was watching Power Rangers, the first Power Rangers.
It does feel like Power Rangers. I love it though. If they do a modern Power Rangers in a similar vein, that's not bad.
When do the Karate Kid movies leave? I need to watch the third one.
31st.
End of the year.
Karate Kid.
I have time.
Why did you look at me like that, Trayvon?
Deep, yo.
Because he always using Power Rangers as an insult.
I didn't. I said the show was a good corny, and I said it felt like the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
none of that was
right now. Insult. Power Rangers is bad corny. Back then it was good corny. I don't know what it is now. They literally look like action. I saw something recently. They look like action figures playing. I was like, Jesus, what happened?
But yeah, Cobra Kai to me, I think that's why the show works because it feels like it's from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
No other show really captures that spirit. Even it's this show is set in the 80s. It doesn't feel like it came from the 80s. Whereas this show just feels like Karate Kid. In the best possible
way. It's modern day, which is crazy, but it feels old school, which is weird.
I need Daniel and Johnny to talk once in a while, though. That would solve all of our problems.
Oh, yeah.
They need to listen to Amanda more. Apparently, I have yet to see her have a bad decision. It's insane.
Everybody has their moments. I'll say that.
She hasn't had it yet. I'm sure it'll come. Like you said, everyone has it.
Nah, she's best girl. They don't come.
But in every single situation so far has been, she had the right idea. Y'all just ignored it.
She's good. She's a good girl. What did I watch? What am I watching? All right, so I watched Bodies. I don't know if you guys heard of that. It's on Netflix. It's like a murder mystery through time. It's weird.
Oh yeah.
Weird. It's so hard to explain because it's 4 different timelines and they're trying to solve this one murder. And yeah,
it's a series.
It's a series. Yeah. It's only 8 episodes. I'm almost done with it. It's starting to actually start connecting. Where I'm like, what the fuck? I was so lost for a little bit there, but it's starting to make sense. Watching this docuseries called Wrestlers. It's pretty good. It's about indie wrestling promotion.
I heard of that one.
Yeah, it got good reviews. I remember a couple months ago, but I never checked it out until recently. I told you guys the other day I'm finally on the Community, and I'm almost done with season 2. So I'm winging right there. It's really good now. It's not anything like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I know you said that the first couple episodes you weren't really.
It didn't vibe with me. Yeah. And it did take me. I still sat through it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it another chance, and I did. And I pushed through, and look, it definitely gets way better after that because you just got to get past those 3 episodes. But they're not bad episodes. It's just not as good as what it becomes. I'll say that.
it becomes a completely different show.
It's not what. Yeah, it does not what. It's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's on Netflix. I've been watching Justified on FX. I know I'm behind on that, but I'm on season 4 now, so I'm getting through that. Fargo's been back, so I've been watching Fargo. Good show, always a good show. Been watching Crapopolis. It's on Fox, like a cartoon based on like ancient Greece, but it's by the creators of. It does feel a lot like Rick and Morty, but it's not Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? Has the same similar vibe type of thing. But it's pretty funny. It's not bad. I've been watching Monarch like Didge on Apple. I've been watching
Crapopolis, to confirm, is another Dan Harmon show.
Dan Harmon.
So, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's why I feel
Pride of Brown Deer.
The what? Who?
Pride of Brown Deer, Wisconsin.
Oh, gotcha. What else? That's really it at the moment. I was watching Lawman Brasseries, but that's like weekly.
Oh yeah. Let me know when that's done. You still you. So
yeah, it's not done yet. It's not done.
Okay.
Cool. I think. I mean, I hope not, because I didn't feel like it was an ending.
All right. Fair.
Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. So I'm up to date currently on my Power Universe stuff.
The Powerverse. Oh god.
Yeah, the Powerverse is strong. It's good shows. All those good shows, in my opinion. This is a good. I like Raising Kanan. Good show.
They're also
they are, but yeah, I mean. I've at this point I've gotten through all of it. So
yeah, I mean at this point, yeah, good. I'm with you. I'm also watching, but they're a lot.
Right. That's kind of into my anime. Like I finally got past the big fight with Katakuri. And I know you guys probably don't know who that is, but it took forever to get past that fight. I don't know, between him and Don Flamingo, I'm not sure what they take the cake for the longest fight. But yeah, it's coming to an end. The whole Cake Island arc. So I'm gonna wait to see how that ends out, and then I'm still currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan and Spy Family and Boruto, which I'm on fillers.
A lot of sad.
Boruto at this point is a seasonal anime that's masquerading as a weekly anime, and I need them to stop telling the lies. Like the canon episodes of Boruto air in the fall. Just release the show in the fall. Why do we have to make this a full year thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I right now I've just met what's his name? Asuma? Saratobi? Yeah, his daughter. Like I've never first time actually. I've seen her. Yeah. So I'm meeting her for like really getting to know her a little bit more.
I like her arc. It's fun.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Also, that kind of tugged at the heartstrings. Spoilers, Jamie Osman has a kid, by the way, I guess.
Oh, you're not
because I mean,
he just died. I think like the episode she just
found out he just died. So when you said you met Osman, I'm like, did he not die?
No, my bad. Well, shit.
Nah, it's fine.
I probably subconsciously knew.
Man, I thought you were already that part past that. I was like, okay. No. All right, my bad. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm watching at the moment.
Good stuff. You guys watch way more than me, which is crazy.
But I left out some stuff.
Oh, dang. There's a lot of movies coming out this week that I'm gonna have to get caught up on. Wonka, Aquaman, Color Purple.
Aquaman much. Is this week?
No,
Aquaman is
next week.
Next week?
Next Friday, yeah. Next week. Friday, Thursday, yeah.
There's a lot to get through.
Iron Claw's also next week. This week is
This week is Wonka.
Yeah.
This week is Wonka.
The Boy and the Heron.
The Boy and the
Heron.
That's
out. I got to see that.
Gotcha.
Housekeeping. Go check out the Amateur Otaku. We're reviewing The Boy and the Heron. That's our last video of the year over there. Good stuff. Ooh. Over here, though, our last video of the year is going to be the DC tier list because, we got to do that. Ooh. As we're closing things out, James Gunn's like, Lex Luthor's been cast. It's officially official. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Ooh. Signed, sealed.
Delivered.
Let's go.
Nicholas Hoult. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with the character of Lex Luthor, because if you're building a DC universe,
do not keep his hair.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Definitely can't do that. Come on,
please.
Mm-mm.
Go to the DC universe. Lex Luthor's got to be around for a while.
He's been bald before, right? In something else.
Yeah. He was bald in Mad Max.
Yeah.
He's bald in a couple of movies. Hold up. Nicholas Hoult. Bald.
Bald him up.
Bald him up. There are a lot of photos of Nicholas Hoult bald.
Okay.
He's been bald a lot. He'll be fine. Will he want to be bald for the next decade? Because that's essentially what's going to happen. Maybe not. But
it was one of the questions.
I like how the one on the right from the Times, that's not bald.
No.
Like half of these aren't. Like they just threw low hair and said, "Oh, that's enough."
Close shave.
I like how like 3 of these are fan art, but
right.
You get the point. You get the point. This is real. This is close enough. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. That movie should be done casting. Apparently, rumors say they're looking to cast Supergirl. We did a whole video on that. Go check that out about who should play Supergirl. Some of you guys on the internet have really bad fan casting. Y'all need to stop. Y'all are terrible at this. Damn, it's bad. It's bad, man.
Some of the rumored names are pretty good though.
The rumored names are fine, but like the fan casting I have seen on Twitter,
that's why it was on Twitter.
It hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts. You can't be casting 40-year-old women to play Supergirl.
You know how they are. You know that.
I know, right?
Hey man, what's the guy's real Ralph DiMaggio? The guy that plays Daniel Macchio? Yeah. He was like 30 something playing Karate Kid. You know, it depends. Situational.
Yeah, maybe. We get past that now.
He was.
I mean, that's what Mike is telling me.
What is he? Like late 20s, apparently.
What is he now? 50 something? He don't even look.
Like 60 something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's like 60, so right. And he looks good for his age.
He does. He looked good back then. I didn't know he was not a teenager.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad he wasn't a teenager, considering what Trayvon just said about him.
What? Seriously.
There we go.
Very good. Very good.
Note,
we'd have been canceled.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We're winding down as we get to the end of the year. You're going to see slightly less videos, but don't worry, we're still going to be here just about every week. Until next time, though, keep watching movies. Peace.
Bye.